number, huh?
Yeah, shorty pretty as a painting, saved the number on the Mona Lisa. We've been cool since before she started smoking reefer. Actually met her on the net via social media. She liked the song I did a while back with Ayana Gia. Texting back and forth about music a little bit.
Right, so it's just gone 6 minutes after 7. My guest is here. He's already annoyed me. Say hi.
Hello, Dulang. Lebana.
Lebana le
Baratua. Dinja dikatse. Everybody. Everybody.
Kalina kwana ma.
Kalina ba mpitsa tshegolala. Tshegolana.
You know what? I think you've forgotten your name. So I'm going to remind you of your name.
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's up, everybody? My name is Ginger Trill, aka Truly the Don, aka Don Suave. You listen to The Element with the Pristine Queen, Azizzar, on Massive Metro.
Okay, let's try that again. So what's your name?
AKA Truly the Don, Young Don Suave, Truly Munati, Ginger Trilly. You know what it is. You know what it is. What's happening? The
it's
bar.
Better. I can't understand. Dude,
yes,
how are you? Oh my gosh.
Hey man, I'm so good. Good to be here. Thank you guys for having me. How are you, man?
I'm fine, but it's not about me. I've been around.
Yeah.
You ain't been around. I'm easy to find.
True.
You find me every weeknight 6 to 8 here.
It's true.
Where have you been? I know I'm not the only one who's been wondering. What's been going on with you?
Man, life, you know, surviving, keeping head above waters. I mean, last time I was with you, it was before the pandemic. We were discussing PIF, and then I dropped From Potch with Love deep during the pandemic.
Yes.
And I wasn't in the city. Came back to the city only like late last year, and you know, was finding my feet. And finally, I came outside, you know, burn after reading the B.A.R Album. So we're here now.
Yeah.
We're taking it to higher heights, you know. 2022, 2023 was happening.
What's happening? All right, so I just need to really understand what's going on with you. You're doing a lot of things.
Yeah.
Let's start with the thing that's bothering me the most. Why 7 songs?
Man, let me tell you something.
Tell me.
Seven just felt like, you know, I mean, like I said earlier, offline, off air, the best rap projects this year were only 7 tracks. But it's like this, man. I feel like the attention span of the consumer has gotten shorter and shorter. We live in a time of like TikTok and bite size, you know what I mean? It wasn't, even if it wasn't 7 songs, it wasn't going to be hella songs. I wanted a quick in and out. I wanted concise, straight to the point, punchy. And when we were rounding it up, me and my mans, 7 just looked like, okay, it's a good number. I thought about the other 2 projects that came out in SA Hip Hop this year that are damn near flawless. I was like, 7 is not bad. We look like the other children. It's dope, man. Let's go, man.
Why are you trying to look like other kids? You were born to stand out. What do you say?
Yeah, but also you mustn't. Also, the 48 laws of power. One of the laws is that you must never try to stand out. You must just.
Yo, Concha, you've been inside, so you've been reading,
Yabo.
watching the documentary.
University of U2. Understand?
Oh no! All right, so we're gonna take a quick money break, and then I'm gonna play J.O. featuring Maggz, and then we're gonna unpack the B.A.R Album. I have so many questions and so many things to get through. We're hanging out until we hit 8 o'clock with Ginger Trill. It's gone 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Still hanging out with Ginger Trill. He's gonna be here until 8 o'clock. We're gonna get through these 7 songs as quickly as we possibly can. But there's a lot going on. I think the first thing that I wanted to know from you is what is going on with this oxymoronic title of burn after reading? Because historically, you read something one time, you burn it, either maybe because there's a secret, you don't want it to be published, or in the times of like politics back in the day, it was like treasonous stuff that was in there. But the whole thing is oxymoronic because you've published this project, and it's got high replay value. So it's not really a burn after reading kind of thing. What's going on?
You put one and it burn out, you put another one and it burns out, and you put another one and then you just burn out.
Okay, Yonsei.
So for me, like, you know, like I have a very conceptual approach to like bodies of work. In fact, since like maybe 2014, I fell in love with the art of compiling a body of work. So it's an idea that I've sat with for a little bit, maybe like the last year and a half, right? The title alone, I was playing around with it, going from my previous title and the title before that and the title before that. I was reading an article about the project from The Plug, and they actually noticed that most of my projects are after movies. So there's a movie called Burn After Reading. Stars John Malkovich, Brad Pitt, and a couple of like familiar faces, George Clooney.
Yes.
So it's about this guy who gets kicked out of the CIA because he can't put the bottle down. He's not aware that he has a problem, but they can smell the gin reeking, just like coming out of his pores. And, it's a very high title, job. So they were like, no, he's becoming. So he was mad at everybody because he's a very intelligent man and he feels like, even these guys were my bosses. So he decided to write a memoir.
Yes.
And the memoir was supposed to be like this tell all about some of the craziest things that happened in his time in service. But after you read it, you're supposed to burn it. Light bulb went on in my head. I was like, okay, cool. What is a crazy way of putting together a title that has meaning, that's in keeping with the theme of how I put these things together, and I really wanted the audience to think about it, like burn after reading. We're not even reading though, we're listening. It's like we're listening. And I was like, but also like with the Yonsei documentary, where she talks about how quickly music burns out because we live in a time where people consume it so quickly. We live in the TikTok generation, and like everything is bite-sized. Everything is meant for the short little story or the short little viney TikTok. They want to be in and out.
Yeah.
So all those things playing out in my head, this title just made perfect sense for the times. I was like, okay, burn it after reading, because I know there's going to be some people who are within the culture who listen to it once and then they're ready to move on to the next thing. But it'll be also funny for those who are going to want to play it over and over and be like, but I don't want to burn it after reading. It's pretty dope. So all those things, even what you said, is what really made me decide to go with the title, and the fact that burn after reading, the acronyms are BAR. Exactly, and this album is very BAR concentrated. It's about just straight spitting, just like it's such a purist project, purist body of work, and we wanted to take it back to the element, like the true form of hip hop. That's why it was so near and dear to me. And so I decided to call it Burn After Reading, the BA R album.
All right, so I have a question from PD the Ghost. PD's my boy. He's out at ZFM in Zimbabwe. And what you just said segues perfectly into exactly what he wants to ask you. So, can you press my things? Can you ask the question? Coming through from PD the Ghost.
Azizzar, what up? It's your boy PD the Ghost. My question for Ginger Trill this evening is in regards to the sound of the album. The sound is great. Totally enjoyed it, especially also when you get to hear Maggz on a song. It's always a highlight. Anyway, my question is, in regards to the sound of the music, was this not a risk for you? Because you're putting out an album which has its own sound, but everyone else around you is making up-tempo drill music and stuff like that. When you were making the album, was it not a risk? Did you not feel any pressure to say, yo, let me also jump on the sounds that everyone else is making, so that the rest of the population can actually accept the music as is? But you went left. You went for a sound that's, if I can say, authentic, but not what everyone else is making. Were you not scared to put out this project because it sounds so different, and also it's not mainstream? Or you didn't care about the mainstream?
It gets a bit like strict that you didn't care about the mainstream. But I hear what he's saying. those types of vibes. So for those who didn't quite catch it, PD asking, was it not a risk for you to put out a project that sounds the way that it does?
Look, scared money don't make none. And it's crazy because I had to resist. You know, we had to fight the urge to include everything and to like be in keeping with the times and the zeitgeist, of everything that's going on in the spaces today, so we didn't look at it like a risk. In fact, I like to stand out, but everybody knows me, or anybody who knows Trilly knows me to be like the lyricist, right? Like the rapper's rapper. And it didn't feel like a risk when I considered the fact that, okay, everybody's going that way.
Right.
Everybody's trying to be jiggy or hip or like just like doing everything that's like in keeping with the times.
Right.
And I was like, okay, they've sort of kind of made my job a little bit easier, because this is, right up my alley. This is like very on brand, a very on brand thing for Trilly to do. And then after I decided that, the very next step within the team was, okay, now we got to give them the best of the best. Like, we got to make sure the beats is tight. We got to make sure the lyricism is, it speaks volumes. Like, we have to live up to the title, the hashtag, the B.A.R Album. And then the rest just sort of took care of itself.
Yeah. All right, that's a dope way to answer. PD,
Yeah.
I hope you're very happy with that answer coming through from Ginger Trill. We're going to play The Magnificent, and then we're going to go song by song. I want you to answer for some of these things that you're saying. Yes. I want you to answer for some of these things that you're saying and explain some of these things that you're saying.
I got you.
All right, it's just gone 24 minutes after 7 o'clock. It is The Element. It is the Stripes portion of the show, and we're hanging out with Ginger Trill. I have a question from Twitter from @Ellie the host. Says, Queen Azizzar asked Trilly if he listens to or follows any Griselda music. I kind of hear the influence, though. He is the rapper's rapper. Still, I just want to know Nje. Why I say Trilly?
I am Griselda.
You are Griselda.
I am Griselda.
You are Griselda.
I'm the real Griselda. Of course, man. Like, I make it a point to sort of like listen to anything that's very like hip hop, that's like mad hip hop, that's like bar heavy, that focuses on lyricism, and that sort of leans more to the side of boom bap. So as everybody knows, those guys took over the scene like late 2018 coming into late 2019 coming into 2020. And deep in the lockdown, I noticed that, it's not just Griselda, there's a whole other movement that do this sound. So I listen to like Westside, Conway, I listen to Big Body Bass, I listen to Alchemist when he drops these tapes, Boldy James, all these guys, Midwest Willie, all these guys, I mess with them because, that's just right up my alley. It's like very lyricism concentrated, the type of hip hop that they make. And it's sort of like J. Cole said, like an art form that's dying, which makes it even more, which makes me appreciate it even more in these times. So yeah, definitely.
All right.
Goodness.
Okay, so we're gonna go through the B.A.R album track by track, but before we get into that, tell me, when exactly did you create all of these joints? The time frame.
This year, year-ish,
Really?
Of course, there's like one or two ideas that existed before, maybe even before last year, but just like in raw idea format.
Right.
But the completion of all these joints are in the last few months.
The last few months?
Yeah.
Why? Especially because I think I know you as a person who hoards music. You create and create and create and create and create. Yeah. It's coming. So that's very different for me.
Yeah. Well, we were taking our time. 1, 2. I did hit a bit of like not even a bit, like a serious like dry spot there. I got onto like, I had a dry patch creatively. Like, I just wasn't making music at the rate that I'd been making it before 2020. And after that, we just started being more how can I say, more nitpicky with it. Like, we'd sit on a record for a much longer time and think about it, what it means, the direction for Trilly, you know, and then we move on to something else, maybe like in a week or two. And we weren't in studio like every day.
Okay.
Like, when we really got into studio, it was like maybe the last half, not even half, this quarter here, you know, and then we were like, okay, drawing board, what do we got? What do we got? Oh, and then, you know, we just let the inspiration carry us. But for a long time, I won't lie, I was disconnected from like the writing and the creation of music. Not that I'd fallen out of love. Not that I'd fallen out of love with the music. I love consuming it. I was listening to everything and taking it in, but I don't know. I couldn't even. I haven't gotten to the bottom of it myself. I didn't even really do much introspection as to why that happened. It was just like, yeah, that was weird. That was weirdish. You know?
That happened.
Yeah, so that happened. And then once we got into the groove, we just. Because like I said, for me, the plan was to always drop this year. The plan was that last year we didn't drop. This year we have to. We just have to, you know. And eventually it came, you know.
What would you have done if you didn't get out of that dry spell?
Punched walls, like.
Were you gonna dust off some of the oldies and just be like, here's a 3-piece, Ebang sharp?
Yeah, look about crime. I was gonna fight it out of me.
Yeah.
I was gonna fight with myself, even if it means I have to like check myself in somewhere, phones off, nobody comes to see me for a week until it comes out.
That's dope though. At least you're that committed.
Yeah, no,
we appreciate you.
Yeah, no, that's just one of my ways, you know.
All right. So, introlude rather.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
Produced by, is it Zay? Is that how you pronounce it correctly?
Yes, the boy Zay, produced by Zay.
Right.
Yeah.
So was that really off top?
No, it wasn't off the top of the head. It was just like at the top of this project. Yeah, we are at the beginning. Yeah.
So Genesis.
Anyway, in one time off top. That was the approach, you know.
I hate it here. I actually hate it here.
It wasn't off top. I wrote. I won't lie.
Yeah.
I paid. I paid a considerable amount of attention to each line.
Yes.
It was very purposeful.
All right.
Yeah.
So it was very purposeful.
Yeah.
So when you say it's all about your faith, then later on you say it's all facade, I cannot relate.
Yeah.
And what I picked up on thematically throughout the project, you make reference to faith, you make reference to the Bible, you make reference to mythological creatures
that are in the Bible.
Yeah. I caught it. So happy.
Yeah.
So talk to me about that part of you, the faith, the Bible. And I was listening and I was like, Obala Bibel.
Yeah.
You actually know the Bible very well.
Yeah, I'd forgotten it. Can you believe it? No, it's only Sunday school like yeah, anybody because you just wanna get it done with, and be out.
Right.
And then you grow up, you know, life lives you. You know, life does it to you, like nah.
Right.
And then you just go back to some of the teachings, some of the things that you were taught by your elders. You know, I grew up in a very religious home, from a very religious background. Like, you know, Ntate Mogolo I was like, we didn't go to
hectic.
You understand that? So
all the nonsense is all me.
You know, I'm only human. So you grow up and life is happening. I mean, so much happened like in the past 3 years, you know, and I just found my way back to my faith.
Right.
Yeah, and just opened up the Bible a little bit more, and also spending time at home, like with my folks for 2020 and 2021, and we were all reunited with my kid, his mom, just like, you know, my dad, I can tell he's my grandfather's son, because you know, we pray. You know, we prayed every day. Like during lockdown, we prayed every single day.
I think we all prayed all day.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that brought me back again closer to God. I started having a relationship that I'd long abandoned with God, like that. Not that I didn't pray or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I don't think I spoke to God in the way that I've spoken to him this past year and last year. So you know, being that hip hop is who you are, those kind of things just seeped into the music. Yeah, they just seeped into the everyday thing. You drop gems in here for the young ones that are listening. You know that, yo, man, I don't just cuss, man. You know, there's real things that we gotta.
We're
address.
talking real stuff here.
Yeah. So
and how do you feel about that change within yourself as a man?
Hey, man, it's another reminder that, hey, you're human. Me and one of my closest friends were talking about it. That, yo, man, remember when you were like between 23 and 25, you felt invincible as a young man. You feel like, I don't know about the ladies, but as because I feel like you guys are much more aware. As young men, we feel like, yo, we can take on this entire world. One man, like Rambo akatla like nothing is. You can do anything. You can do everything. And the older you get, you know. Because you know, like you're reminded that you're very much human. Like you're so fragile. Yeah. So those kind of things, you know, is what my faith sort of like brought me closer to. Just like, yo, our time here is actually just a gift and a blessing, you know, and that's what faith helps to keep me in check with. Yeah.
And then the closing voicer. Yeah. It's Zola, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So why did that particular one stand out for you?
It's a clip that I saw way before I got to the finishing part of the project. In fact, way before I was even like halfway through, quarter way through, and I was like, this has to be in there. And I knew like it's gonna be on a song that sort of like is in theme, but that sort of like made sense to me. It resonated with me so much that, yo, man, it's a very spiritual thing that we do, and you know, it's guided and protected by the angels up above and the Lord up above. So that's why we have to take it serious, and that's why we have to do it the way we do it, you know.
All right. We're going to play free game, and then we're going to come back and chop it up a little bit more. All right, we've got 23 minutes to go before we actually have to leave here. So we're going to try and get through this as quickly as we can. So second track, The Magnificent.
Infinite.
Oh, Mac Daddy.
Yeah.
Chummy.
Mac Zaddy.
Oh, God.
Zaddy.
Not Mac Zaddy.
Zaddy.
Come on, it's certainly it certainly won't be me. Wait, see what lo tse seleng fa gone.
Yeah, I'm a foul mouth. I won't lie. And we've talked about this. I'm a foul mouth on these records.
You're very disgusting. Actually.
I won't lie.
Hard act to follow, major broad gag and swallow.
If at first you don't succeed, don't call back tomorrow. Yeah.
And then there's drug things, cracked lace stanzas, take a hit, it slap different.
I'm exercising my poetic license on that one, though. You gotta give me leeway. You gotta give me room.
Okay. A boss never touch work. You let the team handle.
Yeah.
And you ain't see the vision, then you can't sit with us.
You niggas sitting ducks. Another one bit the dust. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So talk to me about the ability to delegate things.
Yeah.
Especially as a perfectionist.
Yeesh.
As I know you to be.
Yeah.
And especially as somebody who's so involved in everything. You're very particular about the way that you want to be heard.
Yeah.
You're very particular about the way that you articulate yourself.
Yeah.
You're very particular about everything. So how do you manage to delegate things but then also stick true to your vision? Because
true. I think I'm fortunate enough to be surrounded by individuals that sort of like get what I want, like, and how I am, you know. At the core of it, we're a two-man crew, really.
Yeah.
So my partner knows, like, yo, you know, he's been riding with me for the longest time. So he knows how I am, like, since we were probably like 19. You know, he knows, like,
Dallas cool.
Yeah. So he knows that, okay, Suave wants it like this. You know, this guy wants to have it sound like this. He wants to come across like this. He's very particular in this way. And I think we also know that it's part of, like, it's the trick up my sleeve, you know, just paying extra careful attention to detail. I think that's like the trick to my art. You know, as an artist, I know that that's what sort of like gives me an edge.
Right.
You know, so I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by whenever I'm working with people, because like I say, for the most part it's a two-man crew. I'm lucky enough to be surrounded by the people who get how I am in my approach to making my art and presenting my art.
And how do you teach yourself to let go?
Yo, it's tough. I don't think I let go. In fact, me and my mans we both don't let go. We don't let go until the final hour, until it's
What do you mean?
We don't let go. We don't let it go.
So that must be such a mess.
Argili, like we just don't let it go until it's like we push it to the last minute, until it's like, yeah, okay, we have to let it go. Yeah, it's time for it to submit now.
Yeah.
Other than that, we really don't. We
And
perfectionists.
what's it like once you've now submitted, number one, and then what's it like when it actually hits the people?
See, that's why I don't let go, because when I finally let it go and it hits the people and it's submitted and it's out of my hands, I can sleep. I can turn off my phone and sleep, because I know that I made sure I worked to the bone, to the last second, to the last minute. We gave it our all.
Yeah.
So then I can walk away from it with the confidence that, man, we left no stone unturned.
Yeah.
So
you've never listened back to a project and gone, ish.
Yeah, of course. Of course. It happens. It happens so much all the time. Even with this one.
Really?
There's one ish. And you but I never love stand ba moja. But our grand, I was sharp or but say it's oksala. And we leave it at that, because we know that we gave it our all, like sleepless nights. My dog had to sacrifice mad sleepless nights when he had to be up in the morning to make sure that, this thing must come out the way, because it's our thing.
All right.
Yeah.
So then we have J.O. with Maggz. And I know a lot of people are like, Badong, Maggz, because the way that the two of you have been moving over the past couple of years, it's almost like you guys are myths.
Yeah.
So
urban legends.
Right. Okay, urban legend. My apologies. How dare I? And then all of a sudden it's like, I'm here and I brought him. Ta-da!
And he is really him.
It's really him. So tell me about the making of J.O., how it all came together.
First of all, shout out to Maggz. Such a good guy, man. Such good peoples. And I've been a fan of Maggz probably since like 2005. So this collab was my dream. You know what I mean? Yeah. I was listening to the Breakout back then. So this collab, I'm a big Glitz Gang fan. Even the last line on Magnificent, I actually bit that from Morale.
Hectic.
I'm a big fan of
Morale to me.
Morale, Sean, Tito, those are my guys.
All right.
That was like, for me, that's like the rap Avengers.
Yes.
You understand? Of my childhood. Well, not my childhood, but like my teen years. My formidable years. My formidable years. My come up years. So getting Maggz on this project, it meant so much to me. I reached out to the man. I said, yo, bro, I've always wanted you on a project. I wanted it to be the perfect song. And I got something in the tuck. How about it? And he was like, okay, let me hear it. I sent it to him. He loved it. He sent it back sooner than he was supposed to.
Whoa.
Yeah, he was meant to send it on like
it's
a
nice
Saturday.
To be about Trill. Hey?
He was meant to send it back like the Saturday. Yo, this man sent it back on Thursday.
Wow.
And I won't lie, it was one of those crunch time joints. Like, he knew that I was releasing. It was literally like 3 weeks before drop. Literally. And he sent this back like 4 days or what? He sent it back. And it's one of those joints, like from the first time I made it, I knew that I wanted him or some other guy who didn't quite make it on it. Or both of them. But I'm glad it came out the way it came out. Just me and Maggz. And like you say, both of us, we've sort of like been moving sort of like the same way. But yo, man, the legendary Maggz, bro. I had to.
And then Khonale voice note I think it's Z. Is it Z Mazibuga on that voice note?
Who is Z? Oh, our Z. No, that's not Z.
It sounds like her. Anyway, rapping.
That's not Z.
Both of y'all's verses from Amantombazane.
Yeah.
So that was a beautiful way to finish. So where does that voice note come from? Come on.
It's actually from BB.
Really?
Big Brother.
Really?
That's Terry Treasure.
Is that Terry Treasure?
That's Terry Treasure.
Sounding
Follow
like
at Terry
Z.
Treasure. Yeah. She killed
Let
it.
me tell you, I don't watch BB. The only place I know Terry Treasure from is from El Tito's podcast.
Yeah.
That one episode.
That one episode that got them
that
banned.
traumatized me.
It got them banned.
Yes.
I think it's off YouTube.
It is.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I've always messed with Terry. Just off like the spaces. I think she's a cool chick, and we might have even spoken over the email like years back. I doubt she'll remember. I don't know. But to see this clip surface on the internet, because I always use that things that are actually on the internet that actually happened for these kids. I caught that sometime this year, and I was like, I posted it as a story on my Instagram, and K-Tasso was like, "Oh my God, that would be hard as a skit. Oh my God!" And I was like, you know what? That's going in as a skit. So the song with Maggz happened.
Yeah.
And I knew that's where this is going.
But also on the song with Maggz, it's very slight, but you can hear it if you're paying attention. You hear Ricky in there as well. Talk to me about Ricky and how you're feeling right now.
R.I.P. the greatest of all time, the greatest that ever did it. I felt like everything just came together like, serendipitously on this one, because me and Maggz, the last time you heard us together, I think, was on Amantombazana. And that song originally belonged to Ricky, and there's a line I say, and my dress code is the Metros. And then Ricky comes in. If you know my raps, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's because where he says that was actually at the Metros, the very controversial speech, acceptance speech at the Metros. So I put that in there. And then everything else just sort of like, I thought of it after it fell into place. I was like, okay, Magazine on the joint. Terry, okay. Yeah, this is perfect. This is a perfect piece. That's how particular I am about some of these records. So,
but you can hear it because it is a perfect piece.
Yeah.
Because when I was listening, mind you, I was listening in the wee hours.
Damn. Because it did go live. I didn't think it would go live that early, but it did go live, So
I was just like, oh, I like that. Oh, let me hear it again. Oh, I like that.
Cool, it's
so
cool.
I really, really dig it.
Yeah.
So now we move to what I think is one of my favorites, if not my favorite. It changes between Cold Dish and Free Game.
Yeah.
But we move to Cold Dish.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
Spasmania.
There.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's start with the title. Cold Dish, Revenge.
Yeah.
Now, the pure definition of revenge is the action of hurting or harming someone in return for an injury or wrong suffered at their hands.
Yeah.
Who are we skeeting at, Chumi?
Damn, girl. Why I gotta have a target? Girl, come on. For me, I felt like this song sounds like revenge. Because I'm just, it's one of those no holds barred, shoot from the hip, straight up lyricism. It's not as forgiving as the other ones in how hard I go at it and just straight spitting, right? So I felt like it feels like, somebody upset this guy, he's getting revenge. So I called it Cold Dish because revenge is a dish best served cold.
Right.
And originally it was Cold Dish, as in like COLE, because it has the same sample that J. Cole from Revenge of the Dreamers used in a song, The Girl of My Dreams.
Right.
This is the girl of my dream. Yeah. It's got the same sort of sample on there. So that's how that name came across. You see how my mind works.
We're learning today.
It's a whirlwind up there.
We're learning today.
So I felt like, Cold Dish.
Right.
In brackets, revenge.
Right.
Because it sounds like, somebody pissed this guy off.
Right. Somebody would have thought that you would have that as the opener because of how strong it is. Because it's kind of tucked, right. It's right there in the middle.
Right there.
Right there in the middle. And then you're like, whoa.
Just to remind you, it's the B.A.R album.
Shots.
The bars. Just to remind you. For me, and we did go back and forth about it, me and my partner, but I felt like, we gotta start slow, we gotta start more, we gotta make the space more
welcoming,
more calmer. It has to be a little bit more sincere. It has to lure you in. I have to give you almost the real me. You have to get like me first before we get into the real trilly stuff, you know. And I feel like from the second track we get to that nonsense. we get to that nonsense right there, and then the more we progress, you get more of the alter ego.
Mamela, there's a lot going on Cold Dish now.
Yeah.
Hey. Firstly, I will say I almost dropped an F-bomb. I'm very impressed with you.
Thank you, my friend.
I've always been impressed with you, but I'm very, very impressed with you.
Thank you.
I think I found myself being a fan more than anything when I was listening. Because like, what did he just do? Let me go back. Wait. So I think what you did is absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
But we're going to look at some lines. So I was taught to play the villain, and you make a killing. So talk to me about integrity versus survival.
Yeah, it's a you know, it's a dog eat dog world, and this industry, you know, it's like the most dog eat dog worldish of them all, right? But you know, you pick up lessons from like the OGs in this game. Some of them will tell you that, yo, you gotta keep your integrity, and some of them will tell you, yo, you gotta play dirty because the game ain't fair.
Yeah.
So I was dropping these little nuggets for the young ones coming up, like as I heard them from my OGs. I was taught, yo, you play the villain, you make a killing. And that's also like a play on words, obviously, you know what I mean? Because in the movies, the villain is the one to always draw first blood.
Yep.
But I was taught that, yo, if you want to make a killing, if you want to rake it in this game, you gotta be a bully.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta play that guy. You gotta be the bad guy. You gotta be the big bad wolf. So I was just leaving that as a jewel, you know, for the ones coming up. Just give them the raw truth as it is, as a little nugget, a hidden truth somewhere in the raps. Yeah.
So have you found yourself intentionally being a villain in this game just to survive?
Nah, not for the most part, man. I'm not that guy, man. I believe that, you know, what's meant for you is meant for you, you know. And for the most part, I don't want to do people nasty just to get ahead, or to step on toes just to get ahead, because, you know, you know what I mean? I want to be okay with myself, to look at people in the eye knowing that I'm not the one who messed up. Yeah. So that's how I move. I'm not saying you should move like that. I already gave you the jewel. And yo, sometimes,
it's
you
up
know,
to you,
it's up to you. You know, if you want to make a killing, you got to play the villain.
Right.
But me, personality, that's not really me. Yeah.
Okay, I want us to talk about this stupid, crazy, religious, mythological rhyme scheme that happens just after. There was so much going on.
Jam-packed.
Okay.
Dense.
A Spitfire Flame, Leviathan, look, I am him. Right.
Yeah.
And then there's I meditate and reciting hymns in the lion's den. Already there, I was like, Daniel was in the lion's den. Okay, we're going somewhere with this. Okay, who's Leviathan? Oh, okay, it's a mythical creature. Oh, okay, but it's a Jewish mythical creature, so it ties back to the Bible. What is going on?
Hey, too much.
Ginger Trill, what the hell was that?
This is the B.A.R album, ladies and gentlemen. We are unpacking the B.A.R album. Get that B.A.R album.
Then I woke up, chose violence. I am not your friend.
Bars, revenge.
The dawn flow. I'm in God mode. The Messiah's pit. So it all comes together.
Yeah, you get it.
What are you reading? What are you watching? How does it come together like that in your brains?
You know, when you ask it like that, I feel like I can't even take credit for it. It's a gift from the Lord.
It's
it's a good demo. You know what I mean? Because me, I consume what I consume. I read what I read. I watch what I watch. And these things these ideas just spin around in my head. And the only way to control them is by finding the pockets of rhymes, like where I can say them in rhyme format, in, you know, to exercise my poetic license.
Yeah.
So obviously sometimes, you know, a one rhyme is not enough to like put the whole thought out. You need a couple of rhymes. So I'll sit there and scribble it, and then okay, but that ties in with this. Okay, scratch it. This one must come first. Okay, no. It comes in the middle, and then that's how it goes.
Because later, then you say, I spit hard on my aura is what defines a king, and the king is the one that put Daniel in the den. Jesus, I'm very impressed.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Very, very, very impressed, and I think this is my favorite song.
I think it's people's favorite song, favorite verse actually.
Yeah.
My bro called it like, yo, this one right here, nah, son, this is stupid.
It is stupid, crazy.
Stupid. Yeah, shout out to my boy Sowndboi on production from Zim. And it was probably one of the last verses I recorded.
Whatever happened that day, what you ate, what you drank, who you were with, what you wore, do that every day. Yeah. Because this is incredible. Thank you
I
love
so
it. All right, so we're wrapping up, and then we get to free game. So you were just giving.
Yeah, I was giving away the jewels.
After cold dish, you were like, no, that was a small nugget. And it's like, take.
It's all yours. It's all yours.
Why do you find that so important? Because a lot of people might be like, hey, I got some game here and there, but I didn't get all this kind of game, and I had to fight my way through and figure my stuff out on my own.
Gatekeeping holds us back as black people, man. Like gatekeeping is like, come on, man. Like it's I think it's people who live with the idea that there's not enough to go around. Like they're on that nightmare pill that if I give, because I had to struggle, I had to what. Man, that's weird for me, especially for an MC of my age. You know what I mean?
You can say caliber, it's fine.
Caliber,
yes.
Calibre.
Yes.
But I want to say of my caliber, but also just of my maturity. You know what I mean? And I mean age. That you gotta leave some you gotta leave a playbook for the youngins coming after you that maybe want to go in the same direction as you, or maybe laud you as like, yo, this guy for me, he's the guy, because that's what I got from some of the guys that I look up to, the guys that I came up listening to, like, the Jabbas, R.I.P., the Stogies, the Coolies. You'd always pick up a bit of, even in those brilliant rhyme schemes and like Monatu Apina, you'd always pick up a bit of truth. Like, hey man, I think I was being serious there. Like, so I decided to just, call this one free game, because I also do that. I weave between, just flair and rhyming and some truths. You know what I mean? So that you can take the truth and look at it and you decide what you do with it. Yeah.
I like that. Okay, so we're gonna move on swiftly to The Nicest.
The Nicest.
Featuring IMP Tha Don.
Shout out
also
IMP.
Produced by Zay.
Yeah.
Yes. So lefa go busy. So I think it also just carries on with your giving game as well, because it says know your role, play your small part. We all got to start somewhere. That's what we were all taught. It's what we were all taught. For somebody who is playing their small part, but they feel like nothing is happening. I'm playing my small part, but I'm not really getting anywhere. I'm not getting the love. I'm not getting the recognition. And how do you still keep saying that to them, or how to keep going? Because sometimes you're just like, I'm playing my small part, but nothing's coming of it. So let's just leave it.
Two things. Remember why you started. Number two, you have to have faith, man. And faith can only come from inside. It can only come from within you. You have to believe in your purpose and the reason why you're doing this. So if you remember why you're doing it, and if you have faith, you'll be rejuvenated and re-energized to keep going, because sometimes it's not all about you, even though it is all about you. But you could be a cog in a bigger engine to help this vehicle get somewhere. And when the vehicle gets there, because you are a cog, it means you also get there.
Right.
So I was taught, when I got into this game, that if you with a group of people and they depending on you to play your role, however small it may be, do not break the line. So that's just some of the jewels I wanted to impart on the listeners and the young kids who bump in the music to get some game.
So what happens when you feel like you don't have faith, when you lose your faith? How would you advise them then?
Man,
because it gets that dark sometimes, where you're like, yo, is God even hearing me? What's going on? What do you say to them?
There's no shame in stepping back and retreating to yourself. Sometimes you just have to take a moment to yourself and drop everything, drop everybody, and focus on just getting your mind right. If it means you're not taking calls, if it means you're not keeping your promise for the first time ever, you have to let people down because you can't carry on anymore, then so be it, because you have to be still. In order for a solution to come to you, sometimes it takes like complete stillness. Stillness of not just mind, but also of body and also of spirit. And in that time, you not only regain yourself and come back to yourself, but a solution will come to you. It'll present itself to you. You'll actually be the one who finds it from the stillness. But it'll come to you as if it's by accident. You know? So I say when you can't anymore, there's no shame in just retreating. Just retreat, man. Go gather yourself.
I think it's important for people to hear that, because sometimes you think of retreating as failing.
Yes, of course.
Or like you're giving up.
Of course.
Like you don't have enough passion, you don't have enough drive, or you don't believe in yourself enough, or you don't believe in God enough, because God is the one that has given you these talents. So I think it's very important that we tell people that as well. All right.
True.
And now, Ratsalla. Ka BNG2. Because when you see BNG2, the natural instinct is to go back to House of BNG. Listen to that, and then see how BNG2 then follows thereafter. Now, apart from the fact that there's less of the Bonang clips on BNG2, because House of BNG nearly,
she had a verse. She had a verse. She got a whole verse.
But also, the one that you kind of focused on is the one where she says, peaceful. Whereas on the original one, it was
Rao. Yay.
I can tell me Ralana type vibe. So tell me about the different tone of each of them.
For me, like, BNG music is nighttime music, and it's exactly what it sounds like. Champagne music, it's luxury, it's Igollywood, it's the Queen Bee herself, you know what I mean? That's what it is. It's like glamorous, flashy, flamboyant. But for the most part, it's just like nighttime champagne music. So on this one, we wanted to give it more of like an elegant feel. That's why you hear the saxophone coming in there the way it is. That's why you hear the dreamy, like, sort of mix to it.
More sex.
I forgot to say it's sex. Sex.
Because I was like, woo!
Hollywood.
Whoa.
Ching chang chong. Big smoke.
Because I don't like seeing y'all like that. I was like, what?
It's just entertainment. Just entertainment. But we wanted to give it that flair, man. We wanted to have that panache. We wanted it to feel like you feel me? Just like up there, just just like up there, like Igollywood. Sumo on a Sunday night, Mercedes Benz, all of that smoke. So this one, we wanted it to be more musical than the previous one, and we came across it like by mistake. I hate saying by mistake, but just like happy accident. I was in studio, Kilo was making the beat, Tasso started mumbling the hook. I was like, wait, man, this reminds me of, so I started bopping into it. The first line came to me, and I just went for the 16. And then just as I was finishing, Tasso was finishing the hook, and it was champagne music. I was like, there we have it, BNG2. I didn't even have the second verse. We didn't even have the second verse. We're like, this is champagne music, BNG2, let's go for it. So
So are we going to get a BNG EP? Or the Chronicles of BNG?
I don't even know.
What?
I don't even know. The story is unfolding in real time. Like, we don't even know where we're gonna take it. Like I say, the song just falls on these songs fall on our laps.
Right.
Like, and they happen in real time. And somebody tweeted me that, yo, you guys need to carry on with this B&G series. I was like, you know what? It's not a bad idea. Maybe if we get to the third and fourth one, we could compile and make like 5 and 6 and see if we can make it a thing. But we don't know where it's going. We enjoying the journey as much as the listener right now.
I mean, how do you decide which one of her? I think you can just call them Bonang isms. Which one of her isms to go with? There's so many, and they all make sense.
It goes with the mood of the record. It goes with how we coming with the record. There's a line where Tasso says, "I've been finding no peace. Been in the streets since bad chickens had gold teeth."
Yes.
You know, and then he goes on to say, maybe the champagne will find me peace.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, yeah, I was like, this is the perfect one because it goes with the mood right here.
Okay,
that's how we decide.
So the music informs the clip, not necessarily always the clip informing the music, because people might think that.
I think in the first one, like, we'd already decided that, okay, this is champagne music, and we endorse like everything side eye. So it's B&G, we sit in B&G. But we were coming with that rah. It's like it was more drunk than this one. We were coming with more that rah. So we're like, yo, we need the most ratchet version of B. we need her outside. And this one, we just needed her like, listen, I don't want that smoke. I'm doing me. I don't really want drama. I'm doing me. And that's sort of the energy of this one too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. We're done, Trilly.
Hey.
Thank you so much for kicking it with me.
I can't believe time flies like this when you're having fun.
Marla na ka di peanuts 7. Wa bona if no gona le peanuts 10. No re tsa 1 hour 30 minutes.
Oh man. Thank you guys for having me though. Next time we might give you more songs. Sharp. I get it.
I'm doing the Lord's work. I can complain also. I'm doing the Lord's work. I know I'm not the only one because I saw them first couple of tweets.
Yeah.
People like
7 eh?
And I was like, oh, it's not just me.
7 eh?
I was like, oh, it's not just me.
I'm like, Jens, Zola 7. Come on, man.
Okay, Trilly, what is your parting shot? We're going to close with B&G 2. We're over time, but we're out of here. We're saying goodbye to everybody. What is your parting shot?
Hey, yo, man, get that B.A.R album, Burn After Reading, on every DSP out there. Keep spinning it. Thank you guys so much for the support. It was overwhelming on the day of drop. I couldn't believe it. I appreciate you guys so much. Catch me this Saturday. Fill up Mabatu Stadium one time.
All right, and that is how we say goodbye. Okay, bye.
Hey, kubayas bagolo ko gae. Ke le lebogile ranki. Bye.
I will be back again tomorrow night, 6 to 8 p.m. without Trilly, having a more organized kind of show. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Here he is with B&G 2. Bye.